Okay, I lied. There is a second video now. We had some technical problems, and so there will be a second video now.
There's like three.
I'm so sorry. So, the last thing we were talking about is that there are new forms of entertainment, such as movies, public dancing, the use of alcohol, and even some aspects of sports that are putting strains, so it's making people stressed, on their beliefs, on people's beliefs. So these new forms of entertainment are putting certain strains on our belief system. The Great Migration of the war years, where all these African Americans came north, begins now to challenge the city itself. Many northern cities had few or no Black Americans. Many northern cities had few or no Black Americans. By the 1920s, Detroit, Michigan had no Black Americans. In fact, the first doctor the first Black doctor to move into the city of Detroit was the very first one. How was he welcomed by his new neighbors? Well, his white neighbors had organized a group of individuals to come and kill him. What they didn't know was that the Black doctor had a shotgun, and that when they came running in to do him harm, he unloaded with buckshot, and that changed their mind. But yes, places like Detroit and others had no Black Americans whatsoever. So this is going to put a lot of strain on the cities like Detroit. Real estate agencies will engage in what's called redlining again. We've talked about that. So real estate agencies will engage in redlining again, directing all new Black residents into all Black neighborhoods. So redlining again will direct all new Black residents into all Black neighborhoods. New immigrants head for our cities. Immigration laws had prevented the Europeans and Asians from coming to our country. However, the laws did not apply to people who lived in South and North America. So Canadians, Mexicans, Brazilians, Argentinians, anyone from the Western Hemisphere was still allowed to come to the United States. So Canadians and Latin Americans will come to America filling low-paying jobs in factories and on farms. Once again, why do they do that? Well, because Americans have moved on. They don't want to do those lowly jobs. And quite frankly, these individuals are willing to do these jobs. Los Angeles and New York will have what are called barrios. Los Angeles and New York will have barrios. These are Spanish-speaking communities. These are Spanish-speaking communities. So Los Angeles and New York will now have Spanish-speaking communities. They also will become, unfortunately, Spanish ghettos, where white populations will isolate and segregate Hispanic populations. So they will become Spanish ghettos where white population will isolate and segregate Hispanic populations. Suburbs will continue to grow and they will become affluent, meaning they'll have more and more money. It begins with the wealthy people who could afford an electric trolley to go outside of the city, or have cars that they could drive 5 to 8 miles outside the city. So the first suburbs were really close to these big cities. As the middle class continues to grow, the addition of houses and cars allow even more people to move to the suburbs. So even more people will move to the suburbs. Last thing for today. There is going to be a growth of something that we've never heard of before, and this is the idea of a celebrity. Many of these celebrities will take on another title as well, and they will be referred to as heroes. So we will have different types of heroes: sports heroes, adventure heroes, people that are heroes in math and science, right? We're going to create all kinds of heroes. But the reality is you don't get to be a hero unless you're a celebrity. In other words, that means that the press and other people are going to cover you. As the morals of our society continue to decline, there's an increasing need now to celebrate the hero. We don't have God anymore. We've kind of rejected the concept of God, and we're kind of moving beyond God, and so we're now elevating these people to almost like godlike status. The adventurer is one of our first type of heroes that we'll talk about. These are individuals that do great feats that others will start to admire. The first hero that we want to talk about that is an adventurer is a guy by the name of Charles Lindbergh. He will do what was considered to be the impossible. On his own, by himself, he will fly across the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, nonstop. Nonstop. He will fly across the Atlantic Ocean nonstop. When he comes back from this trip to New York City, he'll be welcomed as the greatest of all heroes. Ticker tape, parades, constant invitations to big giant dinners. He will be seen as our hero. And so we'll talk more about this idea of hero and hero worship. All right, guys, that was long. Sorry. I'm trying to catch up on missing out on the video from last night. Thanks a lot. Don't forget to read pages 478 to 480. In your chapter book, it's chapter 17, but we are doing chapter 20 notes. All right, guys. I'll see you guys. Bye.